Patriots. Welcome back to another episode of Appalachian Stand Prepper. With me, your host, Old Core 1057. If y'all been watching the channel at all, you see some of our last couple of videos have been where we dyed the ACU 782 gear, and then we brought it out into the field on another follow-up video, and we had on a pair of the actual ACU camouflage fatigues that we had also dyed. And basically everything we were wearing that particular time on that video had been the old ACU pattern that we had dyed to a different shade of green. And we made those videos simply to show you that some of this gear that you can get your hands on, especially surplus gear, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. A lot of it's been used, some of it hasn't. But there's always little upgrades and things you can do on most anything to make it just a little bit better, whether it be a minor repair or a minor modification, or even going as far as dyeing it to an entirely different color. But the whole point of doing that is to save yourself some money. Now, we make mention quite often on this channel that we're hoping that the beginners will find us. We're really reaching out to them, not trying to tell them they got to go out and spend $30,000 on 6 years worth of dehydrated food, and you got to have a $3,000 rifle, and if your backpack didn't cost more than your truck did, you ain't got a real backpack. We're not into all that. If you can do that, we're glad for you. We're glad you've been blessed and you can do them things. But for the biggest part of us out here, we're looking at surplus gear, or at the very least, second-hand, top-tier commercial gear. So we went ahead and made the video about the ACUs just to simply show you that you can do it. If you're a young father, you got some boys or even some daughters, whatever, we don't care. We're not making a distinction between the men and the women as long as they're patriots. But if you got to buy a lot of this stuff, I spent a lot of money through the years buying the things that I needed and basically outfitting my two sons along with myself. So I didn't just go shopping for one item. It was always three, a lot of times four, because I would buy stuff for my brother if it was a good deal. So in that kind of situation, you're looking at buying multiple sets of gear, and that runs into a lot of money. And what we're going to do, with ACU dyeing video, we wanted to show you that, to show you that you could save some money, put a little work into it. You can maybe even custom, get the custom shade you want if you want to experiment a little bit. But it's definitely doable, definitely possible. We think the results that we got with those two videos are very good. We're very pleased with them. Now, what we're going to show you today is how to refurbish the rubberized fabric on the old Alice packs, and even some of the old butt packs had a liner in them. Some of them didn't, some of them did. I found them, where the guys actually just cut them out because they must have found them aggravating. But we're going to be moving the camera around a little bit on this video, so bear with us. So we want you to see what we're talking about. Now down here, what we have, this is actually a first generation Alice pack. I'm not sure the date of manufacture, but you can tell by the clips for the straps. The first ones had these kind of clips, and these are still in good shape, but a lot of them broke, so they went to a different style of clip. You find on more of them these days than you do the old original clips. But what I wanted to show you was, if you're familiar at all with the Alice packs, you'll know that on the inside of the pack, it's kind of a rubberized coating. You can see this coating here is flaking off, and most of them that you encounter is going to be in that kind of condition. Now this pack here, we can pan over to this is a large Alice pack, and you can see it's in pretty good shape, but it's beginning to deteriorate, flake off. And what you have is this real fine white mesh fabric underneath the green rubberized coating. And the Alice packs, like I said, if you are familiar with them, you already know this. If you aren't, the Alice packs have this Velcro pocket built into the top flap. And that's basically for stuff you need to get at quick. A lot of times it'd be maps, or maybe some spare batteries, or a writing pad or something. and it's just an easy access panel. But this rubberized flap on the top, when you have it folded down over the main compartment of your pack, such as this, it basically was just a big rubber waterproof tarp over the top of your pack, and it might help shed some water off of it. I kind of question exactly how effective that really is, but that's the way they designed it, and I guess a little bit of waterproofing is better than none. I like to put everything in my pack in a heavy-duty Ziploc bag of some kind. If you can find the commercial bags, a lot of stuff comes packaged in, or even if you got to go to the supermarket and just get Glad bags. Big believer in packing what you got in plastic bags. And of course, the old waterproof bags, as some of you remember, that were designed to fit the pockets of the Alice pack, they had that pretty much the same rubberized coating on them, and they would have the same problem. It would start flaking off, and as soon as it began to flake off, it was no longer a waterproof bag at that point. And I think I have some of them somewhere in all my stuff, and if I can come across them, I may go ahead and shoot them like we're getting ready to do here, and see what kind of if we can rejuvenate them a little bit. But at any rate, what we're going to talk about is this rubberized lid on this medium Alice pack. You can see it's all deteriorated. I like to take a stiff bristle brush, and just basically try to get as much as loose stuff off as possible, because we're going to spray it with this Flex Seal. Now, before we get into this, we're not sponsored by Flex Seal. Flex Seal don't know we're doing this. I didn't even come up with this. I want to give credit to the man that I learned it from. He's a YouTuber down in Texas. He's a good American patriot and a former Marine. His YouTube channel is Brent0331. He's an old machine gunner. And I recommend, if you're watching this channel, as soon as you get done watching this video, immediately go to Brent0331. And he's got lots of videos. Brent has a very good channel. He's squared away. He's to the point. He's got years of infantry experience. I think he may have retired at this point as maybe a sergeant major in a reserve outfit, but he was over in Iraq for some of the good times, and he's just a dude I take seriously. And I want to say simplify to Brent. We ain't trying to steal your thunder, man. More power to you. We're going to send as many people your way as possible. But I want to give him credit because I learned it off Brent. Now, he's got a lot of other videos that are worth your time to watch. Lots of infantryman skills, a lot of historical stuff. He does, like Vietnam gear, Korean War gear, and he's very thorough. I enjoy it. In the wintertime when you're doom scrolling through that stuff, when you land on Brent's channel, you probably be there all day if you're into this kind of stuff. But anyway, shout out to Brent, and Semper Fi, brother. But we're going to move on and show you how to do this, because we think it goes hand in hand with dyeing of the ACUs or the refurbishment of any surplus gear that you can get your hand on that's cheap. That it's I won't say cheap, but it's economical. Most of your GI gear is really good gear. Even if you pretend like you hate it, that's all right. I hated it when I was humping it, but it's always what I go back to. So anyway, what we have is just a medium Alice pack. The interior side of the top flap, we've got it stuffed full of packing paper. Just shove something into it, open it up on the edge, shove something into it, get it kind of poofed out so you ain't got a lot of wrinkles to deal with. Use your own judgment. And like I said, I prep it. I try to spend a little time trying to work as much of the loose, the old coating off with just a stiff brush. And if you pan over here, here's a little butt pack we're going to do also. This liner that was in this butt pack was virtually all gone, and as you can see, I remember taking the stiff brush and taking the remainder. It's all gone. There's no rubberized coating left. There's a butt pack down underneath there. We just got it shoved in that box, so when we get ready to spray it, it'll protect the cloth part. But this right here is pretty much what you got right here, and this right here is hanging on still pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and shoot over it. And the wonderful thing about doing this kind of a repair is if you mess that up, if it starts peeling off, whatever the case may be, man, hit it, brush it down, hit it with another coat. So anyway, what you want to do is once you get the prep work done, you want to make sure you got it dusted off and protect the surrounding areas. And I'm going to do my very best to just kind of use this as a hand guide and not get on here. I think I'm not going to worry too much about the hem on it. I may try to protect it a little bit like that, but probably inevitably get some on. So let's shoot this flex seal, see what happens. And what we're going to do, we're going to shoot a coat on the lid of this Alice pack. We're going to shoot a coat on the liner of that butt pack. Gonna let it dry about an hour, and we're gonna shoot another coat. We probably won't film the second coat because, you know, you're just spraying the stuff on. Do your best, you know, try to make it go where it needs to go. But if you're anything like me, you'll have it all over you before it's done. So just make sure your flex seals chuck up real good, and you know, see what we get. I've never done this. I haven't done this before. I've actually used this on some Marpat tarps the guy was throwing away. They had some big holes in them, and I just run some Gorilla Tape over the holes and shot it all with a couple of layers of Flex Seal. And so far, it's working out pretty good. They are at least serviceable and ain't real pretty looking. It's hard to replicate Marpat camouflage with a rattle can. Woodland was a little easier, but the Marpat, it's a little bit tougher, but I can still throw it over my four-wheeler or throw it over myself if I get stuck out in the woods, and that's what I have with me. It'll still work. So, all right, let's see what we got going on. We're going to call that good. I think what we do first is kind of mask off the top of the pack. Come around here, try to get the perimeter as good as possible. Like I say, it's about virtually impossible not to get some of it on the hem. Let's try that. A bit right there. This side. Now I'm sure that if you want to take the time to mask this off with some kind of tape, I'm sure that would probably give you a little cleaner edge, but for what it is, I'm just not going to worry about it that much. We're just gonna do the best we can with what we got here, because any improvement is better than what we have currently. So any job worth doing is worth doing right, but I'm just not that particular about the inside of the Alice pack lid for what it is. All right, doesn't look too bad. So let's shield this back here again. And don't want to get real heavy-handed with it, guys, because after you get 2 layers on, this stuff thickens up a little bit. It's still flexible, as the name indicates, but it does seal. It's not stiff. It doesn't seal. It dries a little bit stiffer than I think the original coating. But that's all right, because we're just breathing new life into these old Alice packs, and there's a lot of guys that, and I'm one of them, that still feel the Alice pack is the greatest backpack the military ever issued. So we got a little on the inside here, on the inside hem. You see along the edge. I'm not gonna get tore up about it. It is what it is. Let's go over here and shoot this thing. Now this might be a little different story. It doesn't have near the support, but shooting that flat was probably gonna be a lot easier, but we're gonna do this anyway. I'll get down there where it joins the bag. Now I actually turned this butt pack inside out because the way it's made, you can do that because the way the liner fits into the pack, the way it's sewn in, it lets you do that. And I'm sure that if you, like I said, if you want to take the time to mask off and tape everything very nicely, you get a good clean edge. I'm just going for about 95% here. We'll call it good. A little bit of green spray paint will make everything green again anyway. Move around. So I've never seen nobody do one of these butt pack liners, so this may be a internet first. So forgive us just a little bit if we don't get this just perfect, but it definitely make things a little more serviceable for your old gear. All right, I think we're good. We'll lay this aside. We're gonna use it again. Let's just see what we get here. So just kind of give a light uniform coating. Give it time to set up. I just stuffed the pack with some shipping paper. It came in this Amazon box, and a couple of old sweat towels I had laying out here in the barn. Just kind of push all the folds out so we could get a somewhat uniform surface to spray on. But when I first saw this, when Brent did his video, he seemed like he's pretty excited about it. And I'll be honest with you, I got excited too, because that problem has plagued everybody that's had the Alice pack. And it had never crossed my mind to do this. So when I found out about this idea, I was extremely happy to have this come across this, because I got 20 Alice packs, truth be told. The price was right, and I bought them all. And they're different models. You know, got the LC1 straps, some got the LC2 straps, some ain't got no straps, just the main bag. Didn't get frames with them, but I did get the packs. And you know, if the price is right, buy in volume, right? So there you have it. But I've got quite a few packs I'm going to be doing this on. I probably ain't going to do them. Well, there you have it. Already on me. Got it on my good khakis too. Ain't no fixing that.
No.
It's all right. But anyway, Patriots, you know, like I said, we show you some stuff on this channel. Some of y'all might say, man, I ain't messing with that. That's cheesy. You know, I'm going to go buy new or whatever. And that's great, man. If you can afford to do it, I'm glad for you. I really am. But like I said earlier, I've been buying for my sons since they were little bitty boys. And when I find a source for some gear or ammo, whatever it may be, I scoop up some for my brother too, because, you know, he's a good patriot, and he's got my back and I got his back, and that's the way it ought to be. And he takes care of me when he's out there and he finds things. He'll go ahead and get enough for his brother. So it's good, you know. No man is island, they say. But a lot of this stuff that we're buying up now, we're getting that's available now. You know, surplus goes in stages. I remember reading in the American Rifleman about Bannermans, and you know, anybody that's ever looked at Sportsman's Guide, you can see this stuff gets dumped on the market, and it's everywhere, and then all of a sudden it's gone, never to be seen again. So in a surplus world, if you find it and the price is right, you better buy it, because it's surplus. They're probably not making it anywhere. They've probably moved on to something new. But if it's a piece of gear that suits your needs, and you can get it at a good price, you need to snag it up when you get the chance. Canteens, I've been buying a lot of canteens here lately, because it's everybody wants Camelback. I'd rather have a canteen personally, but not slamming Camelbacks, just saying. I ain't never had a canteen get a hole in it, but I know Camelbacks do. So, but they have their place. All I'm saying is surplus gear. If you're outfitting a family, if you're outfitting multiple people, and you need to try to have some kind of uniformity and some kind of quality gear at a good economical price, surplus is the way to go. If you can do better, you buy all new commercial, state of the art. We're all for that too. But we're geared toward the beginners and maybe the young families that are looking to squeeze that nickel into a dime. Like I like to say, sometimes you got to spread that jelly pretty thin on the toast to get you by down here in Appalachian. And a can of Flex Seal, a revitalized pack, it's worth the effort. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and cut this and let this stuff dry. And I'm going to shoot another coat of, basically just what you saw me do just a minute ago. And we're going to let it dry overnight. We're going to come back tomorrow, and we're going to see what our results are. And then we're going to hit it with some green spray paint, some olive drab, military green, camo flat, Rust-Oleum. And we're going to make that black into green, and we're going to see how it turns out. So with that, I will see you guys tomorrow. Hello, Patriots. Welcome back. Yesterday we went ahead and showed you about refurbing the rubberized material on that large, or the medium Alice pack we were working on yesterday. In all fairness, I gotta admit we had mixed results. And as a follow-up, to show you what we're talking about, we're gonna be moving the camera around a little bit, so it's gonna be on a tripod or anything, so just bear with us. But we want you to be able to see what we've learned. And I did learn a little bit. This is the first pack that I've sprayed. Spraying the tarps, pretty straightforward. I said I worked on those Marpat tarps. You just lay them down, it's all good and flat. But when you're dealing with something that's sewn into a pack, or the little butt pack here, we did learn some things, and we're gonna call them out as we move through this, but we wanted to show you the results. Now, it's been 24 hours, this stuff is dry, and in the interest of time, I went ahead and shot the flap of the pack with some spray paint earlier today. When we got home from church, I went ahead and painted it so it could dry and we could handle it and just let you see the finished result. So here is the results of the lid. Now this was quite a bit easier to spray. It's pretty good shade of green. We like it. It's rubbery, man. I believe it's waterproof. I'll pull all this crap out of it so you can see. Little packing paper. But you can look down in it. You probably won't be able to see it on the camera here, but there's no traces of daylight showing through really. So what you have in the end is, so there's your pack. It's all flexible, good to go. And you pull it up, you have the rubberized interior that we painted with the green camouflage flat spray paint. And we did get a little bit on it, and that's just me being in a hurry. Thought I could get by with just using the cardboard, but in the future I would recommend, if you guys are watching this, try to tape off some stuff. You'll get a better parting line. But we're going to call the pack lid a success. It's pretty good. It's a lot better than what it was yesterday. If you can remember earlier on the video, you can see all that flaking off, but this is probably the best shape it's been in 15, 20 years. So if you got a pack, old Alice pack like that, don't be afraid to do that. Now, the little butt pack, that's a whole different story. Because we're shooting 360 degrees. Now, let me turn this back. I got it right side out. But what I did yesterday, I turned the pack inside out and shot the 2 coats of Flex Seal on the inside of this liner in anticipation of painting the other side later, or spraying the other side with the Flex Seal. So here's how we shot it. You can see the outside coating of the Flex Seal. You can see down here these little corners we missed a little bit, and we got a little bit on our inside of our pack, but it really don't matter on the inside. So that's what it looks like. I didn't paint it green yet because I'm not done with the Flex Seal. I'll show you why. Let me see what the best view of this is. Let's turn it back. So what I'm going to do to finish the job on the butt pack, now if you remember, there was absolutely no rubberized coating left on this. We just spraying strictly on the little white mesh fabric, the real fine white mesh fabric that is the base of the waterproof liner. And when I came out here today and started checking it out, let's see if I can get where you can see it. We're going to try to get this on camera, so bear with us here. Come here and shine down in there, and you can see, like right here, I missed some in a fold, and down here I don't know if you can see my hand moving behind that. You can see, basically you can see the daylight passing through. I don't know how good the camera's actually capturing this, but it's a good way to check. That's the way I did the tarps I sprayed. When I sprayed the tarps with the Flex Seal, I basically stretched them out and got under them, and wherever I could see daylight through, you see little pinholes of light, I just shot it with the Flex Seal until I didn't see daylight anymore. And that's the same process with this. Like I say, I don't know how good the camera got it, but basically we're gonna have to hit this one again. But it's definitely better than it was, but it still can use some more Flex Seal, and I didn't want to just tell you everything was just great if it wasn't. So what I'm going to do, see, this is the outside of it. I will spray one more coat on this side of it because the first 2 coats were on the inner portion of it. And it's really don't surprise me too bad because this had absolutely nothing on it. It was just that real fine material. And we tried to get all the wrinkles out of it, but obviously we missed a few spots. But it's not a failure, it just needs, we just need to back up and touch up what we missed. And that's about all you can really do. But as you can see, it is flexible. We're gonna paint it green just like we did the lid here when we get done. But what I'll do after we get done recording this video, and it's gonna be easier now because the coating that we sprayed on it actually makes this a little stiffer, so I can just let it stand by itself, not have to try to prop it up. And so I can just stand it up like that and go around the outside until I get a good uniform coating, let it dry, and I'll look down in there. If I see any daylight, I'll touch it up, and when I no longer see any pinholes of daylight, I'll paint it and I'll put it back on my belt. This is the butt pack I wear all the time with my 782 gear in the video. So but yeah, I hope you can see. If you couldn't see the pinholes of light coming through, I'm sure you understand. I mean, you hold it up, and if you can see little pin pricks of light passing through, well, you know, if you can see light through, you're gonna get water through. So, but I believe it's gonna be easy to remedy because I can turn this hem down and spray on this side of the cloth this time, and it's actually going to be easier to, because as you can see, it's stiff enough that it'll actually stand up. Now as you work it and maneuver it around, it'll probably loosen up a little bit, but I'm glad that it does this now because it's going to make the touch-up work a lot easier. It was kind of difficult, as on the earlier part of the video you can see I had stuff down in here to try to hold it out. and it's just you know, it's hard to get 100% on a deal like that. But the whole theory of using the Flex Seal to recondition the rubberized material, and you know, use your imagination. Anything you got that you need to waterproof, you know, if it's cloth, I mean, you can shoot it with some Flex Seal. I seen some videos some time ago about dissolving a tube of silicone RTV in some mineral spirits, and then, you know, basically it melts the rubberized, the RTV, thins, it makes it really thin in the mineral spirits. You stir it all up and get just a real thin, liquidy container, and you can paint it on with a brush. Like if you're going to go around the seams of a tent, you could probably do it on the seams on the inside of a raincoat, or even a poncho or something you got that you need to patch up. But Flex Seal might be just a quicker, easier way of doing that. So we wanted to bring this to your attention. If y'all got some old Alice packs and the lid's all, you know, wore out, and you know, that's the way they do, they all do it. It's just a matter of time. If yours ain't doing it and you keep it, it's going to do it. And we wanted to say, hey man, this is a way around. So we just want to bring it to your attention, because Alice packs are great packs. You know, I can't think of another pack I would prefer. The new packs with zippers, I see that as a point of failure. A bad zipper in the field, I don't know how robust they truly are. I know the military's used them. The whole Molly 2 series has got zippers in them, but there's just something deep down inside me that says that's a weakness in that pack. But I got some of them, and I'll use them until they fail. But my old standby, as always, me and Alice go way, way back, and we're still getting it on. Me and Alice getting it on. So anyway, we hope you enjoyed this. Hope maybe we give you some ideas. If you didn't find it educational or interesting, hopefully you at least found it kind of entertaining. That some old hillbilly boy trying to tell you something that you know, maybe you don't want to know at all. But we want to pass this on. I think this is a real good method of keeping your gear up to speed. Like I say, it's a little bit stiffer than the original rubberized material, but it is also, it might be a little bit more resilient. So, but it's definitely not going to hurt you any. I mean, you can see here's the pack flap. You still open it up. You still put stuff in it. You know, not the same shade of green, but who cares? It wasn't the same shade of green with the original. So anyway, with that, Patriots, we hope you got something out of this. It's cold and rainy day, and we're getting ready to go in and get us some supper and a hot cup of coffee. So with that, we're going to sign off. We're going to say, hey man, the maximum effective range of its use is 0 meters. Don't be the guy making excuses. All my socks and underwear is wet, old core, because I didn't rubberize the flap of my Alice pack like you told me to on that video. I was in there laying on the couch, and I just couldn't muster up the energy to go out there to spray that. Dude, put your wet socks on and go on out to the LP or go on patrol. Shut up. I don't care if you got wet socks. It's your fault. If you ain't got enough sense to take care of your gear, put your socks and underwear in a Ziploc bag or something. That's on you, brother. Because I told you. I'm telling you now, don't make excuses. Semper Fi. That means always faithful. That means people could count on you. And how do you have a right to count on anybody else or rely on anybody else if you're not reliable and trustworthy yourself? So Semper Fi. Keep the faith, because it'll keep you on track. You can get lost in the noise and the BS and the chaos, and don't get down, because there is always light at the end of the tunnel. You know, I find it funny that light and darkness can't inhabit the same space. If you got light in your heart, there ain't no room for no darkness. So keep the faith. Keep the faith. You'll be glad that you did. And always, always demand liberty.